All right. Hey guys, Adam Francisco here, and I got a special guest, the world famous, soon to be world famous, Bear Williams.
Mm.
So Bear, why am I calling you world famous? Tell my audience what you do.
I formerly was in advertising, just like yourself.
Yep.
But 3 years ago, I moved to Bangkok, and I have become an actor. And most notably, if it ever happens because of all the shit going on, I'm in the new Tremors film, Tremors 7,
Nice.
Island Fury. Yeah, so that comes out supposedly in October, barring any more
Yeah, it could change. It might change now because
disruption.
because of the virus. Could change. Might get pushed.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Well,
before you go further, let's pause for a second. Right now, I'm going to overlay the Tremor 7 image so that everyone can see what's coming out.
Okay.
All right, perfect. So now everyone has seen the Tremor 7 logo, and hopefully, if this doesn't get pushed back, I hope it doesn't get pushed back. Everybody will be seeing Bear Williams make his Hollywood.
Yeah.
This is going to be your Hollywood debut, right?
Absolutely, 100%. My first Hollywood movie. I'm in the official cast. It's kind of it's a dream come true, and it doesn't feel real yet. So come October, if it is.
And Napoleon Dynamite's in the movie, right? With you, Napoleon.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, John Heder. I don't think he appreciates being called Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, yeah.
But Mr. John Heder is in the film as well.
My bad, John Heder. We'll call you.
No, I don't think. I think he's used to it at this point, but I do think
that's crazy that like you bump shoulders and elbows with like these like celebrities. It's pretty cool. And you know, one of the craziest parts of my experience in Thailand was when I'd go to the movie theaters and I'd watch, and I'd go to the theaters there. Every single time I saw you in at least one of the commercials before the movie started. Always at least one commercial. Sometimes I saw you 3 times in a movie. I was just like, what the? So I'm very happy for you, man, and I'm excited for this movie to come out, and you're gonna kill it. I'm pumped.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, dude. And it was a real blast having you here in Thailand too, to bounce ideas off of, and just kind of like your momentum and your drive is something that I think, for lack of a better word, right now is very contagious. So
thank you, man.
I thank you for that.
Awesome. I appreciate that. So let's talk about this big news. The purpose of this is really to talk about coronavirus. Both you and I have kind of been tracking this thing since January, since I think it was a bigger deal in Thailand before it was a big deal in the US, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think that's due to the proximity to China.
Right, exactly. And we both know this, but Wuhan residents visit Thailand and Bangkok more than any other city and country in the world. So I think that's a big reason why, it definitely was there first. So I'm curious, what is Bangkok like now?
So there's an element of just surreal life right now. I think the Thai people for a long time, because it was in China and China was in lockdown, and I think for an extended period of time, almost like a month, we only had like 37 to 47 cases. So it wasn't viewed as like this big thing. And what really kind of happened is that when it started to proliferate out to Iran, Italy, and the US, all of a sudden the fear index here started to kind of ramp up. And with it, all of a sudden we found new cases. So I think we're at like 400 something now, which within the last like 2 weeks, literally it just kept on doubling and doubling and doubling. So that really kind of, I think, started to make the population here get a little bit more serious. It also changed the attitudes of the government, where before I think the government was just dismissing it, saying like, oh, it's very hot here, so you don't have to worry. It'll kill the virus. Don't, just keep going. Everything's going to be fine. And now that is completely 180'd, where the government has shut down basically everything that is public, from gyms to movie theaters to massage parlors to bars and restaurants, everything that basically keeps Thailand alive and is what tourists come here for, is completely shut down. The only thing I'll say that is not shut down and that is jam-packed is the grocery stores. And, as someone that kind of wants to abide by the rules and kind of quarantine and self-quarantine before there's a need for any type of like military enforced quarantine. It was really strange to go to the stores and see them so packed and people rubbing together in the aisles just to get all the essentials that they need. Now, the stores are not sold out. They're being filled with products and refilled and restocked. But to me, like, the mental kind of part about like, and I don't care, I'm not scared. If I get it, I get it. If I die, I die, I don't care. But going into the store and feeling like, okay, we're in a situation where we're bottlenecking everyone in one place and we're worried about a contagious virus. And then everyone turns out of the store and then goes home to be with their families for the next 2 weeks. Wow. So it kind of, it almost feels like it's okay, let's give it to everybody and then send them home for 2 weeks. Then it does feel as a preventative measure.
1 second.
The other thing too is that, sorry.
No, keep going. So you're basically saying it seems like they're taking the UK's approach where just give it to everybody and maybe try to establish herd immunity.
It kind of, that's not the official narrative, but it kind of feels that way because even at the grocery store, dude, there was like a lot of old people there. And I'm okay, they have masks on, but I'm like, something is not computing in the sense that like the isolation is a necessary part of this. And you're taking the whole family out to go shopping. You're not sending like a single emissary on a mission.
Right.
And that to me kind of defeats the purpose because, basically you're creating, like I said before, a bottleneck where everybody goes through it. And if this virus is as contagious as they say, that's a wrong strategy in my mind. It's really kind of, it's something that's going to feed it rather than fight it.
Right.
So all those things said, finally, over the last 2 or 3 days, people stopped going to work here, which that kind of lagged behind too, because I can see out my window here, there was traffic every morning for quite a while. And now on Friday, it just seemed like it was just very light, small amounts of traffic, where normally it's just like.
Yeah, I can't even imagine a Bangkok without traffic because Bangkok's notorious for,
It's crazy. Dude, I'm thinking about dusting off my Honda to go riding at night because the ability to take a bike out, it was just like, there's nothing but open roads. So
that's crazy. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's not awesome, but it's cool that you have a bike and you could actually maybe, have fun with it now because the roads are a little emptier. My friend is in Chiang Mai, and he said that Chiang Mai is a city that's 99% tourist based. That's basically all their income. And he literally said that the entire city is being completely decimated by the virus because every small business, every restaurant, even the working girls or the prostitutes, none of them are having any income right now. And he told me that the government stipend, apparently, and I don't know the truth behind this, but he told me that the government stipend is 300 to 600 baht per month. And for my American followers, that comes out to about $10 to $20 a month US.
Yeah, it's nothing.
And that is
really, it's literally.
That is not a lot of, as cheap as Thailand is, that is not a lot of buying power. So I'm not
at all.
I'm worried. We're not only worried about America too, but I'm worried about Thailand too. Obviously, I was only there for a year and a half, but I definitely bonded with the country. And, I'm worried about the Thai people right now. So
yesterday was the first time that I got the question from someone saying like, hey, are you evacing? Like, are you getting the fuck out of here? And I looked at them like, no, like, and I could sense the tension. And I was like, are you? And they're like, well, they were concerned about trying to like get out of the country. And one of the things about Thailand that I love is that the people here are, as they say, Dayen, like cool-hearted. So in the face of something that could be a huge crisis, I kind of feel okay here. And I understand that like, there'll be crime anywhere and, 10% of the population might go haywire. But overall, like the Thai people are kind and they're very kind of community and nationalist oriented where they will bond together rather than break down, I believe.
Right.
So when I kind of looked at it as like, number one, I'm not traveling right now. And number two, I don't really want to take my chances without a home in New York City or in California and just kind of then try to like piece the situation back together in a in a crisis rather than kind of be where I am. I'm anchored. I have everything that I need. I'm basically putting together a month's food supply and making sure that that stays fresh. So I feel safer than anything here.
Yeah.
One of the things that you mentioned though too about the tourism, our GDP here is pretty much primarily comprised of tourism, which prior to the crisis was already way down. So
Right.
now it's like,
the pot was so strong.
yeah, and it's basically now the tourism is being smashed to zero, and all Thai people are going to be affected by that. The entire economy is going to be affected by that. So one would think like, okay, is that going to cause chaos? And my first reaction is yes. In some places, some percentages, yes, it will cause some chaos. However, one of the great things about Thailand is poor people can eat no matter what. If you have 5 baht, if you have 10 baht,
right,
which is really pennies, you can eat every day. So the insanity level here within the rungs of the poorer or the poorer community are always still even keeled because of the fact that every day they can eat. So in this place, I kind of feel like it's a little bit safer because hunger may not be as much of a problem. Plus they have a whole bunch of like local markets where everyone can go get the local food and make sure that they're getting the vegetables and everything that they want. But there's not going to be as much stress regard to hunger here as I think America might end up going through.
Yeah, I mean, even 7-Eleven in Thailand was a super cheap option to get like good food.
100%.
So yeah, you're right. I don't know if there is going to be that hunger crunch in Thailand. It could theoretically be in the U.S.
Yeah, you can get a bottle of iced tea, a 16-ounce bottle of iced tea, for 30 baht, which is $1.
Right.
$1. Where in America, that shit will cost you $3.50, if not more.
Right.
Like, so the disparity in prices regarding food here, especially for domestic food or Asian food that's imported, it's so low that people can survive.
Right.
Even if shit goes completely like sideways.
Right.
So I really feel that makes this place kind of a lot better to be. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But for now, I think
that's good insights.
Yeah.
And another question I have for you is, what are some of the items that you think any person in the world should be stocking up on? Because if you saw my list, I put water. Now remember, I don't have a refrigerator because I'm kind of a nomad right now. But
I watched it this morning.
Yeah, I put water, oatmeal, protein bars, power bank, and a multivitamin. I think those for me are the top 5 that I would recommend anybody has on their list. What about you? What do you think of the top 5?
Yeah. So thank you for the power bank idea. I that didn't cross my mind, and that is huge. Huge. So the next time that I go make like a cannonball run, I will actually go and pick one of those up.
Awesome.
So you got to think about it. It's like, what's going on here? It's like we're in some kind of like weird quasi wartime scenario. So when you kind of think about what should you have in your place or in your home in order to combat any or prevent any possibility of hunger in the future, or things like, power outages and stuff like that, like you actually really thankfully mentioned. Food, water, shelter. You need a place to stay. You definitely need water. And everybody says like, oh, well, there's water coming out of the tap. Whether you're in New York City, people say you can drink the tap water, fine. Here, you really can't take those chances, and you don't want to. So stocking up on water and making sure that you have enough for at least a liter or liter and a half per day, I would say is something that is absolutely essential to have. Even if you think or listen to the government and say like, oh, they promised that the convenience stores and that the supermarkets will be open, that's fine. You can believe that. But for insurance purposes, you should have a month's stock of water kept just in your home. Don't drink it right away. Only start to drink it if you have an issue. Otherwise, you can go out and get food however you normally do. Right. But it's just for insurance purposes. You don't want to sit there and be thirsty and then have to go out searching for water. That's a shitty place to be.
Yeah.
The other thing, like you mentioned, is non-perishable foods. one of the bad things about Thailand is that a lot of people eat fresh produce and fresh animal meats.
Right.
The problem there is that you need refrigeration, or it's possible that they could kind of get funky. So non-perishable foods become extremely important, like your oatmeal and your protein bars.
Isn't that crazy though? That Thailand, usually it's great for food because people are eating organic, fresh, healthy. But in the case of a quarantine, it actually kind of backfires, where it could actually work against the community.
Yeah, because you have to go out and make daily runs.
Right.
If you're eating fresh produce, you got to make daily runs.
Right.
And also too is that some people on poorer levels might not have refrigeration.
Right.
So
True.
again, and the economy here, from a foreign perspective, I'm addicted to supermarkets. Like, that's my thing. Right. But this economy here is addicted to takeout food, street food, food delivery,
and markets.
So yeah, so they live in very small apartments, affordable but very small apartments, and they basically live off food that comes off from the street, from their favorite restaurants, whatever. So they never in their mind have the thing that says, oh, I got to pack food away, or I need to store food, not a whole lot, but enough to kind of like get me through a tough time, except for one thing: rice. Rice is a grain that they can just take sacks of and keep it in the home and use it as per needed.
Right.
So, and you think as a carbohydrate, a basal carbohydrate that people can use to survive on with water, that's something that will keep people alive, but it's not ideal. It's just not ideal. So if you're kind of really trying to survive, I would also kind of dip into things like almonds, dried fruit, cranberries.
Oh, dried fruit. Yes, that's a very good one. Someone else mentioned to me.
Yeah. Too. Yeah, exactly. I, for the fact that, if I'm super hungry and I feel like I'm in dire straits, I got potato chips, I got tortillas. I just got things that, normally are comfort foods for me, but I know can survive for 2 years if I need to wean them out over time. Not saying that we would be in this situation for 2 years, but if I have to, maybe for 2 or 3 months, pretzels, things like this, like whatever you dig that is something that doesn't need refrigeration, grains, like I said, rice, put that stuff together. It's a rainy day fund that you hope that you don't have to use.
Yeah.
And people can, the government said that the supermarkets are going to be open and we don't have to worry. Okay, I get it. You want to believe that nothing's going to happen. However, you need to have reserves just in case. No panic. You don't need shelves of toilet paper. What you do need is enough to keep your shit together.
Right.
All your shit together, not just your ass, in order to kind of survive.
Well, you don't even need toilet paper in Thailand. You guys got the spray guns.
No, we got spray guns. Worst case scenario, take a shit, jump in the shower. Another one of my friends, if you take a water bottle after you drank it, you poke a hole in the top of the cap, you fill it with water from the tap or the shower, and then you turn the cap on. You could use it as a douche. It's a
really
bottle.
Like really smart. I do got to say though, I really miss taking poops in Thailand because I never felt so clean after pooping in Thailand. Same
every mall has like a Japanese quality Toto toilet.
Oh, they were so clean. They were so clean.
Heated seats, heated water.
Yes.
Like, I always looked at bidets as like, because I was programmed as a young child to think that like any water from inside a toilet is gnarly.
Right.
However, once you sit on a Toto toilet that has fucking automatic like ass washing, you're like, what was I thinking? Like, this is the best feeling ever.
I totally agree. I love that automatic ass washing. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I got a great question for you because you're a bodybuilder and obviously you're big into fitness. What are you doing if the gym's closed for 2 to 3 months? How are you going to stay jacked and in shape? What's your plan?
Yeah, big time. I'm gonna adapt. I did a video a couple days ago where again the gym felt like my experience in the supermarket, where everything's desolate, and then I went to the gym right before they closed it, and it was fucking packed with people. Great. And I was just like, this ain't safe and or what we're supposed to be doing. So they did shut everything down, and my condo gym is open for now. And I don't think that's going to be, I don't think it's going to be open for too long.
They might close it because my apartment in New York that I was staying at, it was open until 3 days ago. They finally decided to shut it down about a week after all the other gyms shut down. So maybe steal some dumbbells from the gym, put them in your apartment.
Well, that's what I would ask them for. I would ask them to take a couple of, I mean, like, I don't know if they would let me, but I would ask them to take. But so the gym in the condo is actually a little bit weird too, because it's a small box and it's a very air conditioned box, but you put 6 people in there and it starts to get a little bit like, it's a little too close. Yeah. Plus with everybody huffing and puffing, whether they're on treadmills or whatever. So what I was doing was I was taking some of the weights out into the courtyard and doing work outside. And, you know, before, because I do bodybuild, I was doing the typical bro split where it was like Monday chest, Tuesday back, then legs, then shoulders. So I was doing like that day kind of split. Now I'm going to do full body workouts every other day. So I'm going to basically split it up. But I also, I do cardio every morning, and I do now stretching every morning as well, and some breathing exercises. I will continue doing all that. But my routine in the gym is actually going to change into this every other day full body workout. Exercises will change. So while I'll be doing, like, you know, things for chest, I will not be repeating, you know, bench press. The next time I do chest in the full body workout, I'll do incline bench press and not regular bench press. So I'll switch the exercises around and just kind of work it that way. Also too, when we got on the phone, you told me like, hey, you lost weight. I actually have been purposefully losing weight before this crisis. There's no food shortage. Obviously, I eat like a motherfucker. But I have been trying to lose weight because I feel that my marketability with regard to my profession now, being an actor, it makes me much more in line with lead and or supporting roles.
Right, because so you were most of your commercial roles in Thailand were things like, let me just get this dog real quick. Hey, come here. It was things like you were usually cast as like a bodyguard or a caveman or these like big, you know, big roles. Which I'll link to one of your videos, by the way, in this one. But you want to get away from that into just more of an everyman role.
Yeah, I want to be, I want to have the capacity to do more. Yeah. So I don't want to necessarily not be the barbarian, but I want to have the potential to be the barbarian if I put a month and a half, 2 months behind a training and eating program in order to get there and prepare for a movie. But that also then gives me the flexibility that at my current weight, I can work towards roles that are more everyday man, more normal.
What about the sleeves you got? What do you do about those?
Well, I mean, that if you look at The Rock, I mean, like, I am in no way The Rock. I wouldn't even say that I am, but there's a certain level of acceptance that comes. Plus also too is if we're really talking about acting, we're really talking about portraying reality. If you look around, if you're in a major city anywhere, people are tattooed heavily. So I'm hoping that there's some kind of leeway with that. It actually doesn't frighten me. Actually, the director of Tremors, when I went to the audition, one of the concerns was the fact that I had tattoos and that I wasn't the owner of the copyright. So if they were in a Tremors video, my tattoo artist could come back and say like, hey, I'm suing because that's my intellectual property. So, but my tattoo artist is so fucking cool that he signed over the intellectual property to me. So then I was able to present that paperwork to Universal. Wow. And they basically said, okay, with that, no problem, you're in. And the director actually kind of said to me, he's like, I'm so happy because we want to portray that beautiful artwork. So there are ways, there is, you know, there is easement for people who are tattooed to be used for other things rather than, you know, straight up gangster thugs.
Yeah, and but also for your tattoo artist, I think that was a smart marketing move by him because
Fuck yeah.
As your career potentially takes off, you're definitely going to be getting questions about your tattoos, and 100%. That's a plug for the artist. So
yeah, and I told him, I said, part of this is that, you know, if I get notoriety, I'm like, your name comes with me, because I will always be proud of who put this on me, and the work and the studying and the amount of time and dedication that he took in order to learn what he does. He actually studied in Japan.
Is he Thai or American?
Oh, he's American. He was like a year and a half or 2 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
And he went to the same high school.
Where's he based?
Say it again.
Where is he based?
He's actually in. I think he shares time between Nashville and Long Island in New York.
Does he have Instagram?
He does have Instagram. It's called Zam Tattoo. ZAM Tattoo.
Okay, cool. We'll put his name. We'll put his name here somewhere.
Yeah, he's friggin' awesome. Awesome. He's the guy that, like, I asked and I talked about like hand tattoos and neck tattoos, and he just looked at me and he goes, "No fucking way." He wouldn't allow me to mark myself in a way that would make me not acceptable by the job force or to get a career, you know.
Right, yeah, because if you put on a button-down shirt with sleeves, you wouldn't even know you had tattoos.
No. When I worked for USA Today, and then I worked for Microsoft for 6 years before anybody knew I had tattoos, because I just wore long sleeves. And it was always this rumor, oh, I think he has tattoos. And I'd be like, I don't know.
Now you can do whatever the hell you want because you're a free man.
Well, as soon as I started to blow out my number, I was all of a sudden wearing short sleeves, because I was like, fuck this. I'm making money, so I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, you were the top sales guy, right? Your company for a while?
Yeah, 2013, I was the #1 global sales rep for digital marketing, or the digital advertising group. And then the last 5 years that I worked there, I brought in over 50 million for Microsoft. So it was a beautiful run, and I love the company. Like, I absolutely positively love the company, and I love the people that
Did you ever meet Bill Gates?
With me.
You ever meet Bill Gates?
I was one room away from him. I was in a viewing room because it was at full capacity, but you know, you could feel his I don't want to say you could feel his presence. Let's just say.
And his wealth.
But his wealth. I mean, like, honestly, when there's, you know, a couple hundred people just swinging around in access, and it's him, you kind of feel that gravity. So yeah, I actually, some people can talk shit about the guy, but I think he's amazing. He's a genius, and the company that he built with the hierarchy of culture and how that works there, it was just a great place to work.
That's awesome. So. That's awesome. So we got some, you have a movie coming out in a couple of months, hopefully, Tremor 7, which I'm going to go see it. Well, it's going to be on Netflix, right?
It'll be on Netflix. It's supposed to be part of Netflix's, Halloween scare-a-thon. I don't know if that's what they'll call it, but it's the release. It's in their horror releases that are coming up in October.
So I'll do. And I also instead of moving to Florida, I will have a TV or a projector by the time the movie comes out, and I will do a screening of your movie here in Florida for me and my friends.
Awesome.
Awesome. See it.
Awesome.
I'm so pumped, man. I'm so pumped to see you in there.
Yeah, same here. Same here, man. We also got there's a Thai Chinese film that I'm in too, called Double Action 2 that's supposed to come out this year as well.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, I pay.
All right, man. So we just got cut off by Zoom. I didn't know that there was I don't know we'd get capped out. We got capped out. That's the first time it's happened. So
yeah, we got tagged because of the fact that we're trying to use the free version.
Right. We got carried away a little bit. That's basically what the app told us. But I wanted to make sure we did it on a proper note. I just want you to stay safe, obviously, in Bangkok. And what I'll do is I'll link to your YouTube channel. I know that you're brand new on YouTube, so. Yeah. But I think that your content's good, and obviously I love your rants. I think your rants are hysterical.
Thank you, brother.
So we'll put a link to your YouTube, and if you guys want to hear more from Bear, not only will you see him on Netflix later in the year, but you could also check out his YouTube, and you'll see some of his rants about life in Bangkok.
Yeah, and I'll say, like, my rants, I'm not right. I just try to guess about what's going on, and I just try to be myself. So, take it with a grain of salt. Hopefully it makes you laugh, because I don't take myself seriously. I don't take anything seriously because it's not worth the stress.
I totally agree.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Adam. This has been super, super fun. I can't wait to do it again. And you also please stay safe,
yes.
and keep Raindrop and Cloud safe as well.
That's
too,
right.
I'm thinking about them.
Thank you. I will say to my audience one more thing. Bear and I, we're thinking about investing in higher quality equipment, maybe even a green screen. So
yes.
in the future, you guys might see more podcasts, vlogs, whatever these are from us, much more, more premium type of experience. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, because we got a lot of reason to do it. The world is in a very precarious place, whether you think it's going to net well or net bad or get worse before it gets better. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to discuss. And I think that, we can help people try to make sense of it. So absolutely.
Very cool. All right, Bear. Thank you for your time, man. I appreciate it. And Kap Kun Kap.
Kapun Makap. Thank you, brother.
I'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Hey guys, BeFreeMySheeple.